What's up, everybody? You know who this is. I am David, also known as the Preacher Man here at FrazierChronicles. And I want to talk today, real quickly, through video, about first being black in America and then how black men and black women are treated here in America. The first thing I want to say is America has not always been considered this great country. And many people don't know that because many people have been taught through history that America has been the greatest country, has always had all of these opportunities for everyone to enjoy. But they leave out the part where America has so much hatred within its country, within its people, within its society, within its organization, within its business modules, within its criminal justice system, within its life. And a lot of people don't realize that. But I just want to really briefly just talk about it, maybe just really briefly. I don't want to take a long time. I know a lot of you are out there. You have a lot of different things to do. But I wanted to come and just come on here live real quick and give you guys some realistic, 100% foolproof things that go on in America with being black and being a man and being a woman. I want to talk about women real quick in America. Black women, first off, God made black women some of the most beautiful women in the world. He's made them the most talented women in the world, and been able, and they're also the most uplifting in the world. I mean, you can't say that black women are some of the worst women in the world. Now, we do see different things in the world when it comes to black women, but you can't say they're the worst women in the world because they're not. The black woman in America is considered the angry black women. And that's what the society has given everyone to portray the black woman as, an angry black woman. So if a school calls the black woman, about her son or about her daughter in a negative light, as far as them not being good, as we would say, so I put it in layman's term as good, they say that they get on the phone, they say, hey, Miss, I just use a name, Miss Jackson. Your son or your son and daughter are disrupting the class, and this is how they would perceive the black woman, to say, well, why are you calling me? Well, don't you guys have a policy in place? And this is how they're portraying the black woman, when the black woman is saying, well, hey, I'll be on my way. Let me know. Matter of fact, are they in there with you? That's how the black woman will portray it. Are they in there with you? And they're going to say, well, we can't allow them to speak on the phone at this time, blah, 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 blah. But when those administrators get off the phone, the first thing they're going to say is that black woman was upset. She's angry at the school. She's upset because it's something that the school is not doing, when Miss Jackson was just asking a question about, is my son, is my daughter around where I can talk to them? I'll be on my way. I'll leave work here in a minute. But they won't acknowledge that she was calm in demeanor, and that she was very aware of what's going on, and that she was on her way to the school. So they'll perceive her as an angry black woman. Then she get to the school and get into the office, and the office will make her out as if she's already upset. She's turned to the max. She's turned up, as they say, turned to the max. And that isn't the case. She comes in there with the demeanor of, hey, I'm just trying to find out what's going on. Where's my children at? And everybody in the office will try to make her enraged, make her seem like she was upset. She walked in with an attitude. And that's what's being perceived in America. And again, the black woman is perceived as the angry black woman. That came from, I want to say that analogy came from during the time of slavery. And we know here in America that what was formed in slavery or ingrained in slavery, whether it was lies or truth, is followed here in the 21st century. I want to move forward real quickly to talk about the black man. The black man in America is treated as a criminal. Every time a black man goes somewhere, if he has a great nice job, he's supporting his family, he's uplifting his family, he's doing what he has to do to make ends meet, to be the positive role model inside of his family. That black man is considered a criminal. If he has money, he's considered a robber. He's considered a drug dealer. He's considered a maniac. He's considered so many things in America, but a lot of people don't understand black culture. They don't understand what it is to be black, what it means to be a black man in America either. Black men are considered criminals. They say that blacks men are incompetent, that they're lazy, that they don't want to work. These are the things, these came out of the slave fields. These came out of the slave manual. This came out of the country America, which America has formed, and they have utilized that blacks are lazy, blacks are not wanting to work, blacks are mobsters, blacks are just rapists and killers and all of these horrific things that white America has put into the minds of those here in America. And those minds hold on to what has been indoctrinated into them here in America. America is about indoctrinating. If you don't understand what I'm saying, what I mean by indoctrinating into the mindset, basically they take you and they make your mind one way and then they flip it and then they bring it back so that you can be taught and educated in the way they want you educated here in America. But I want to talk about now how blacks, men and women, are treated as a whole in America. And this, I hope, is teaching you, it's not angering you, but teaching you how it is here in America, in the systematic way of thinking, in the systematic way of how America was created, the laws and the workplace and everything else. So blacks as a whole are treated as if they belong at the bottom without any promotions inside the job. They're at the bottom as if they are property. They're not listed or looked at as humans in America. And that's just from the systematic point. We're not talking about the point of where blacks are looking at each other as blacks and that in the cultural aspect. We're talking about the systematic. America's full of systematics and systems that are in place to control the mind and to control the eyes of what we see and control our ears and what we hear and control our lips and what we say. It's really systematic. And when it comes to the systematic theory here in America, systematic plays a big part because of a brainwashing system that systematic is. Systematic is basically it has done its job to control mindsets and control people on how they the outlook that they have on black people. I will say this about blacks, because this is something that a lot of people don't get. Blacks, we are 100% loyal to America. And I'm going to say the reason why we are loyal to this country, because one, when our ancestors and all those who came before us were enslaved, they built this country and they built it on the backs of one another without payment. Okay, so let's make sure we put that in there in a slave mentality. Okay, even when they were free, they were still not free. Okay, and that's in history. That is proven factual. This is not a opinionated, basically an opinion summary of what I'm talking about. But a lot of this has been fact driven. Okay, America is systematic in its teachings and systematic in its thinkings. When it comes down to the black man and the black woman, black men are not looked at as leaders in America. We are, and I am black. We are natural born leaders. We are not lazy. We go above and beyond. It's just that our work is not good enough for those who are in the leadership position over us, or who have bought us in and hired us because they're in the good old boy system, which again is a systematic way of thinking, a systematic way of teaching. And our black women again are not treated as are not treated equal either. Our black women are lacking different things that they need, and that they have strived for throughout history and throughout time. Black women, again, are considered the angry women. They are also considered women who feel that they can't, that they're very uneducated. Not knowledgeable. The only thing that a black woman, and this has come from a systematic, is that black women are only good enough to be mothers, single mothers at that. Okay, and go against the black man. That's the systematic way of how it's been created to create the divide between black men and black women. That divide has conquered the black community. I will say that. But again, as blacks today, we have to change the narrative by one, supporting each other, two, staying in the know, knowing what each other is doing as far as running for the political parties, or whether they're trying to go for promotions and things like that. It's our job to back them and make sure that they're pushed forward. And I will say this because the simple fact, a lot of people are probably saying, well, we shouldn't back just based off of color. Well, we don't get hired based off of color. We don't get into places we're supposed to be because of color. This country that we live in has created a narrative of separation. It has created that narrative that blacks and whites are to be separated. Blacks are not to be over whites. Whites are supposed to be over blacks at all times. If it ever becomes an issue where whites are moved down and black is moved up, then there is supposed to be some type of riot, as we will call it, or some type of infidelity, or as some would call it as well, to get that black man or black woman out of that position and put a white individual back over it. And that's come from the systematic aspect of this thing. Also, with the systematic approach to things, we as blacks, we don't stick together on a lot of different things. And I will tell you why. It's because from the cultural systematic aspect, they have, and when I say they, meaning back in slavery, see, a lot of this stuff ties back to slavery, and it's been a big curse moving forward. And what happens is the blacks can't be on one accord because of the breaking of the minds during the slave era. And as time moves forward, minds are still broken up. As kids go through the educational system, again, which is systematic, there are continuously breaking and brainwashing the minds of blacks and then moving them forward. We have something called critical race theory. And basically, they don't want things such as slavery to be taught in school in the way that it's been taught. They don't want a lot of different things, especially depending on race, to be talked about, because white people feel that they have to be, what's that word? They have to feel offended for the things that their forefathers have done to blacks. And that's the big significant part of critical race theory being banned in our school system. So again, we are trying to basically keep history away from people that need the history, so that they will not go back into the places that they were once at. And that's how you end up dragging them into the places that they were once at, that they came out of, by not teaching them and exposing them to the truth. History, if you study history on your own away from school, you would dive into history and you'll learn more about the black culture, you'll learn more about the white culture, and how both aspects of whites are more scared of blacks because of the rebellion that they are trying to make sure does not happen here in America. I want to also leave you guys and ladies with this thought in mind, just this thought right here. If there was no hate in America, if there was no hate in America between any race, would America be a lot better? And what I mean by that, when I say a lot better, would America have had any type of form of slavery? Would blacks be afforded the same opportunity of a promotion without the worrying about the color of the skin? Would more people that are black be seated in a lot of our congressional seats? And also, would it matter if our president was black or if our president was white? I just want to leave you guys with that thought in mind, because again, we live in America, but when as black men and as black women, we see that there is a great divide in the country that says we are united. And I want to also leave you with this last question. I promise you this is the last question. Is America truly united, or is America truly divided? So those are just questions to ask yourself. You know, I'm David, also known as the Preacher Man. Make sure you follow me here on Frazier Chronicles. Make sure you subscribe onto the YouTube page, and make sure that you go and you donate on our website, www.FrazierChronicles.com. Again, our goal is to help inspire young youth to become podcasters and learn how to do radio and podcasting as well. So again, I'm David, aka Preacher Man, and that is my time on the topic in discussion: black men, and black women here in America.